Welcome to Bell Brothers Brewing.
Engineers talking about beers.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Cody.
And today we're doing Will It?
Bull.
Bull.
Yeah, like a bull.
Or like your bullshit?
No, bull. Only one L.
Only one L.
One L.
So Cody, what is a bull?
It is ginger beer and lime juice in beer. So it's a lot like a Moscow Mule, but with beer in place of vodka.
Okay. And you got lime, nice and refreshing. Ginger beer, ginger ale, refreshing. So I'm thinking this has got to go into the lighter, pale ales, lagers.
Traditionally, Mexican lager. If Wikipedia is to be believed, this is a Cuban kind of thing to do. So a Mexican lager, or I guess a Cuban lager, I'm assuming that's what they call it in Cuba. We wouldn't know. Damn, trade embargo, I can't have any Cuban cigars or Cuban beer.
Well, we did open it up a little bit for a little while, and then all of that got ended in the last administration. But hopefully we'll get back over there and get better trade relations with Cuba, and we can all smoke those delicious cigars. With that, let's move on to our bull mixers. First up, we've got Lone Tree's Mexican-style lager, Booled.
Looks nice. You got a little less head because, obviously we poured lime juice in on top, kind of knocked down the head some, but it still looks nice, clear. Oh, sorry, beer in front of face there. Still looks clear, nice and pale and refreshing looking.
The ginger comes off the nose, dominates all smells. There's literally nothing other than ginger.
I get a hint of the grassy Pilsen. I think that might be the Pilsner malt mixing with the kind of grassy notes of the ginger in the first place.
You know what? I kind of like that. It's real bright, refreshing. That ginger, right now, that ginger beer is kicking me right in the back of the throat. I don't know if you feel that, but it feels like it's way back in there, just like chewing out the back of your throat.
I eat a lot of the pickled ginger for sushi.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
I like that. So this is not super gingery to me because of how much of that pickled ginger I eat on a regular basis.
I eat a little bit to clear my palate, but in general, I don't enjoy ginger. Close this one off. Will Lone Tree's Mexican-style lager, Bull.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll grant that, it does.
Just because you don't like ginger doesn't mean it doesn't bull. I think this is refreshing, light. It hits everything I would want. I mean, it's already a lawnmower beer in the first place, right? But now it's a sweet, slightly tangy lawnmower beer. If anything, I would want more lime, but that's not surprising.
I agree. Actually, I would agree. I think more citrus would help.
And this one is Prost Brewing's Pilsner Booled.
Prost!
Prost. Looks almost the same as Lone Tree's.
Right.
Not surprising. Pilsner and Mexican lager, pretty similar.
Same ballpark.
Yep.
Smell, a little stronger. I think Prost is bringing a little bit more heat to the aroma game.
Well, Pilsner should have a little more hop bitterness, and sometimes that can be a little more aroma. I think that answers the question for the end of this section. Will it bool?
Hell yes. Hails to the yes. You can bool the hell out of some German Pilsner. That is delicious. That is a perfect balance between the little sweet ginger with the bitter Pilsner and a little bit of lime that brightens it up. It's not really beer, but it's a great mixture. It's a great cocktail.
The ginger the tang of the ginger helps enhance the bitterness in a pleasant way. It also dries it out, which I mean, it's already a dry beer in the first place, but this doesn't make it sweet or sticky at all. It keeps that dry, clean finish, nice and crisp. And you got a ginger tingle that just kind of sits around your mouth when you're done.
It is consistent, refreshing. You want to go back, high drinkability, across the board. Excellent, Will It.
This is the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Horseshoe Dragons IPA is gonna get booled.
That smells very interesting.
Right? Yeah, I can pick up the aromatics are strong, even back here. The IPL is really singing. I think the hops are really kind of helping out.
It's very piney? Almost cedar? No, it's definitely pine.
With a really light, almost citrus. There's a little citrus in there.
There it is.
Citrus
and pine.
Yeah, Bohemian, Pilsner malt, mixing well with that mosaic hop to kind of give you a good aromatics across the board. How's it taste?
Pretty good. It's different. It's definitely more citrusy, but I feel like hops and ginger mixed together to make it hotter. Like the ginger, that ginger heat is enhanced with this one a lot.
Right.
I had it sitting in my mouth it is a little sweeter than the previous two, which not surprising. You got an IPL, it's probably a little more malt going on. But a little unexpected. It's got a more middle finish, I would say. It's not dry finish. This
No.
is more mid. I wouldn't call it sweet or...
Definitely wetter.
Yeah.
Will it bool?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Think
it's...
you're gonna bool this one?
I would bool it. I would not bool it as much as the previous two,
Right?
but I think it's still... It's 51%.
Nah, I'm gonna take this the other direction. I don't think it bools.
think it does?
No. And to me, it just doesn't hit that key refreshing aspect that bool needs to hit.
I'll give you that. Yeah. It's not refreshing because it is hot and a little sweet.
I don't think this one toes the line appropriately. Maybe a stronger IPA or IPL, like American style, like hoppier, bitter,
An American West Coast.
might take this the right way.
It's a good thing the next one up is double IPA.
Excellent.
So we've got Transient Artisan Ale's Ultra Moist Double IPA.
You know,
Nice.
Transient Ales, I think in the past has always had the most complex pain in the butt labels that we've had to figure out one way or another. Man, do they like sticking words in front of other words. More.
Ginger's kicking in the flavor a lot.
Oh yeah.
Very, very gingery.
So I wonder how much actual flavor they had then in the actual beer. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not
I
great.
don't like that at all. Nope. No.
No, it will not bool.
This will not bool. This will not.
It's orange juice and ginger.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's more ginger than the orange juice. There's just like this, like if you took like an entire cup of ginger and then just splash some OJ on it, or like, that'll solve the problem. That fixes it right up. No, you better really love some freaking ginger if you want this.
And it's sweet and moist, obviously. The name didn't lie. This is a juicy, more hazy double IPA, which is also lacking bitterness.
It does
so I
get
feel
better
like
on the
it's not
second
really
round.
fair to call it a double IPA because it's a hazy pale ale.
Yeah.
It's not very bitter at all.
Ooh. And now we have Cerebral Brewing's Dark Galaxy Oatmeal Stout Booled.
It's certainly dark.
I kind of like the
it's like-
mixture of the kind of like darker chocolate,
like a
roasty malt aroma with the bitter or the kind of the ginger going on in there.
Tastes pretty good. It's a little roasty. You get the ginger note going in there. It's
Leans
not
sour, like a weird. I think the burnt or the roastiness in the grains. You know, like how like burnt can go sometimes into that weird sour kind of charcoal flavor. I think between the lime and the ginger, it's like pulling those malt flavors into that burnt sour. I don't know. It's
I'm not quite getting that.
no
I'm getting a definite roasty. I wouldn't call it burnt. Definite roasty.
roasty.
A little chocolatey, like dark chocolatey, and then a really strong ginger flavor again.
Okay.
And it's good, but it is too sweet, too hot, too liquidy. This does not bool.
Right? Yeah. The answer is, will this bool? No. No, this won't bool. This is not a good mixture.
At least not a summer bool. It does not fulfill what we were looking for in a bool, which is light, refreshing, bright. And for the final one we have Cerebral Brewing's Pink Slip Breakfast Sour with maple and blueberry.
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 Smells really good, inviting.
Yeah, like maple blueberry syrup, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes me want some waffles.
I didn't think the ginger really takes out beyond that. It smells like waffles. Yeah, it tastes like waffles. The maple, really strong, just like dominates the syrup flavor. The ginger is cut significantly because of like the sour,
So it's
sweet
hot,
going
yeah.
on.
Smooth.
The lime is nice and bright. I'm calling this a sour might be a bit of a stretch in the long haul, personally.
I think some of that could be from the ginger kind of competing with the sour. I don't know.
I don't know. This doesn't have that lactose sour.
Or, like bite.
Yeah.
It has lactose. It tastes like drinking maple syrup. Just drinking it straight. It's not sour. It's goes.
Okay. So it's a little light on sour for being a sour, but it was probably a kettle soured beer in the first place, so they called
Agreed.
it a sour because you can taste the tang of lactic in there. a
Yeah,
little.
and that's fine. You could say it's got some lactic in there. I think just giving it the label of sour might be a bit of a stretch as far as that goes. I would go a little harder on that, especially given the kind of sweeter syrup of the maple. I think a little bit more bite to it might help assist that drive.
Well, we're not necessarily here to judge the beer. We're here to judge the bool. And this kind of confirms what we were talking about with the Christmas bool.
Yeah.
A little sweetness, a little bit of lactic or something, lactose or lactic apparently, is the right thing to get it to taste not so hot ginger and more sweet Christmas.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this drives a lot of that flavor composition that we were looking for. I think if we could get it into that stout, you might really get that Christmassy, the Christmas bool that we're shooting for. With this kind of combination, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It bools.
It bools. It's not a summer bool. You would not want to drink this on a hot day on the patio.
Maybe a fall bool.
Fall bool.
It's a fall bool.
That being said, this is not syrupy. It's not a thick feel. Like, despite tasting like syrup and having good notes and a nice mouthfeel, it doesn't feel syrupy, which is kind of nice.
That's real thin, which is, it keeps it
I
drinkable.
don't know if I'd call it thin. It's thin for what the flavors are implying.
It's drier.
It's dry.
It doesn't finish wet. It is drier, right? And it is lighter on the palate itself. So you've got a lighter body.
Yeah.
And because of the way it finishes, it's very drinkable. It's returnable. I think it hits on all those categories that make it a decent, drinkable version of whatever this is.
So which bowl was your least favorite?
I think I'd have to go with the ultra moist. Ultra moist bool, definitely worse.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between that one and the IPL. That it got really hot and fired up.
The
and
ultra moist, the issue for me is it had that like somewhat sweet orange juice flavor with the hot ginger. It was like brushing my teeth and then drinking orange juice all in a cup. Nobody likes brushing your teeth and drinking orange juice, and that was exactly what that was in a cup. That was just no.
Yeah, I don't think that played too well. I'm not. Yeah, I'd probably put that one at first with the stout or the IPL.
Yeah, those were close.
Those are, and for different reasons, but still not
working.
good.
So far for favorite bool, definitely Prost.
Prost all day.
Prost without question.
Favorite bool, Prost all day long, every
Bool
day.
your Pilsner,
delicious.
that was good.
Yes. Take your German Pilsners, bool them. It's worth it.
That was good stuff. The Mexican lager was a close second.
Not
Pilsner
bad.
was definitely better.
Just way better. That's like just like that next level. Like it cranks up to an 11, right? It's just that good. So as a clutch on the 9th hole, swap out additional, extra, whatever you want to call it,
Whatever you
pinch
wanna call
hitter. Call it the names, whatever you want to add to it. This is Surly's Furious IPA.
It's Angry's Angry IPA.
Angry.
It's a little foggy, unsurprisingly. We got the lime juice in there, but it looks like a clean, like it started with a clean West Coast, which makes me happy here. I think we're gonna.
And the aromas, I think, are starting to. It's trying to balance off that ginger, and so I think.
Yeah, you got that hint of pine with the ginger, kind of giving it a nice strong smell.
It's inviting. Not completely against that piece of it. Good aromas. How are we tasting?
Very piney, but a good piney.
Yes.
It's like a bright, interesting piney combining with the gingery to give it this. That works.
There's a hint of like sweetness that I don't like. That I think the ginger is like a candied ginger is trying to
The
pull
ginger
into.
beer. I mean,
Yeah,
there's sugar
it's
in
trying-
ginger beer. It's
yeah.
a little sweet.
It's trying to pull that in there, and it's counterbalancing almost into that sugared broccoli. But I think the hoppiness, the bitterness, and the ginger brightness that you're talking about really, I think, overpowers. It's enough. It's enough for me to be like, okay, I can kind of ignore that side
So I
note.
think the core thing we've learned here is that the bittering hop helps cut the heat of the ginger.
Yep.
Because all the ones that had a good amount of bittering hop, ginger wasn't that hot. As soon as we went into the juicy IPA, the stout, and the sour, the ginger was hot.
Yep, it does. It takes you into a forest. I really like the flavors on this one. As you keep on sipping, I'm getting less and less of that potential sugared broccoli, and the more of the really good mix is coming out on top of that. So I think what this tells us is that Bell Brothers just got to rotate in. We'll call it Forest IPA. But first, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, check out our Facebook, and coming soon to you, the Kickstarter in July, where you can have a chance to come brew with the Bell Brothers. Thank you so much for visiting us here at Bell Brothers Brewing.
This has been Engineers talking about beers.
Cheers.
Cheers.